Hello and good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The 21st of October 2023. Expected top temperature of around about 31 degrees here today. A very big welcome to the Raymond Terrace Aquatic Club. Two very big days of racing headed by the Ray Wamsley and the Greg Louis Lewis trophies here on the Hunter River. Craig Lynn's my name on behalf of everyone here from the Raymond Terrace Aquatic Club and their committee. A very warm welcome. We're going to get boats on the water very, very shortly. We've got a couple of the minor class boats requested some hot laps on the water. We're certainly going to see the big bangers a little bit later this afternoon. But we've had people travel far and wide for this weekend. Got a couple of Victorians, of course, the Clark family travelling, and Mark Ebenreuter travelling all the way from Adelaide. So a very warm welcome to those people, and thank you very much for supporting us here this weekend. Plenty of slip, slop, slap required. Let's make sure we stay cool. Today, the weather is going to get very, very hot indeed. 31 degrees. Water conditions perfect here on the Hunter River. We've got a number of fabulous sponsors assisting us this weekend. We're naming rights for the course this weekend. Our front straight, of course, the AEW Pools, Andrew Walmsley Pools front straight. The turn buoy to our right is the Junction Inn Hotel. Top turn, our back straight. Of course, our good friend Kane Bannister, Bannister Marine, the Bannister Marine back straight. Polytherm will be our bottom corner to our left. And we'll certainly cover all our sponsors throughout the weekend. So we're just getting getting some confirmation as to our first couple of boats on the water. A couple of new guys in the tunnel boats have requested a few hot laps out on the water this morning. The Bud Light machine, 2.5 litre fuel injection. Scott Krause is the driver. One of the older Bud Light Tim Seabold boats. Of course, Scotty Krause, a former Australian jet sprint champion. Just getting a little bit of confirmation. The driver of Impulse, Brendan Mason, not feeling well at all this morning. So the driving duties in the Trojan this weekend will be fulfilled by a very good peddler from this region, of course, Michael Newton. Lambert Family Racing, the next tunnel on the water. These guys aren't officially racing this weekend. We were down in numbers for some of the other classes, and they requested some time on the water this weekend. So to ensure we've got something on the water at all times, we're going to allow these guys time on the water throughout the weekend. So Scotty Krause, he's come all the way from Chamora, Central New South Wales, to attend this weekend. Scotty, of course, he's driven a number of different types of racecraft. I believe he's got an Everingham boat on order currently. Of course, with the jet sprint racing, he's normally accustomed to going left and right and not in a straight line. But both our tunnel boats they're both on the Bannister Marine back straight. So our two tunnels, they've just been given the yellow flag, so they've got one more lap on the course here on the Hunter River. So Scott Krause is coming out of Polytherm onto the AW Pools front straight. Let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a number of food and drink vendors on the course in the spectator area. Tons of coffee, regular visitors here at the Raymond Terrace Aquatic Club. They're set up right next to the rotunda. The Raymond Terrace Aquatic Club, they have their barbecue open for trade. Quino's Quick Snaps, all the good photos there. All the wonderful pictures taken over many years. Thanks, mate. So a big hi goes out to everyone, both here in Australia and overseas, taking in the GP Hydro live stream this weekend. Of course, that man again, Scotty Lambert, and his wonderful cameraman, Neil and Paul, making the trip up from Victoria once again. So a very big thank you to Scott and his crew, allowing everyone, both not here at the venue or overseas, being able to watch the racing here this weekend. Rhonda Watakovich. She'll be out on the water very shortly in the beautiful Hot Lemon. She's requested a couple of hot laps. Rhonda, thankfully here this weekend, gaining a special medical clearance. Rhonda had a few health issues recently, so great to see Rhonda back on the water. The other boat coming out on the course will be Kurt Rod, driver of Just Send It. So they have requested some hot laps, and then they will stay on the water for our first 85-mile-per-hour race of the weekend. A guy and his business that is synonymous with the Raymond Terrace Aquatic Club is, of course, Mr. Kane Bannister. Kane, your wonderful firm, Bannister Marine, have been around about 40 years now?
Yeah, 46 years. So, yeah, still going.
Okay, where did Bannister Marine first start off?
So Mum and Dad kicked the business off in Cabramatta, so 46 years ago, in a shed in the backyard. And, yeah, from there they've just grown. So we had a larger shed, and then we've moved out of Moorebank in Sydney to the establishment we are here now. So.
Okay, so the business has just grown and grown?
Yeah, it keeps growing. We sort of, back in the day, we kind of moved up this way to sort of settle down a bit and get out of the rat race, so to speak. And the business has just kept going. So we've got a lot of contracts with Sydney Trains, so that's continued on, doing lots of fiberglass repairs for those guys, and then plus all the insurance work that's in our workshop.
Okay, Club Marine and NRMA are a preferred insurer with you. Any others?
Basically all the major insurers. So if you have an accident or you scratch your boat, or we get lots of jet ski repairs, sea-doo repairs, where those guys crash into each other or run into their mates or whatnot. We get a lot of that sort of work. We do a lot of stuff for Malibu in Sydney, so a lot of their specialised gel coat repairs. So yeah.
Okay, your website, I'm having a good look earlier in the week that, you know, you specialise in boat repairs, but there's also boat detailing. You look after a lot of personal watercraft, being your jet skis.
Yeah, correct.
A lot of stuff with keels boats.
So
apologies there, ladies and gents. We just had a minor issue with one of the speakers.
Years, we've sort of spread our wings a fair bit wider than just doing the boat side.
We have a number of food and drink vendors
on motorhomes and caravans and anything fiberglass related. We do a lot of shower bases, in caravans where they might have splits or cracks. We do that sort of work. But the detail work we do enjoy, to get your old boat in and it's, you know, show it some love and get it shined up again. So, yeah.
Okay, and you're located just short of the beautiful Lake Macquarie?
Yeah, we've got views to Lake Macquarie from the factory. So not on the water, but fairly close to it. So, yeah, it's a great spot. Love it.
Okay. Your business, do you get a lot of trade from circuit powerboat races?
We do it quite a bit, yeah. So we don't sort of say we do a lot, but we bits and pieces, and we try not to sort of probably tell a lot of people that we do that type of work. A lot of guys, they want to make a gain or they want to make a change. We don't sort of, you know, put it on social media or tell everyone that we're doing this or doing that. So we've got certain boats that come in from time to time.
And she resides in that beautiful mid-coast town of Foster. It's great to see Rhonda back on the water this weekend. And another boat to come out onto the course will be Kurt Rod in the boat named Just Send It. A recent addition to the Raymond Terrace Aquatic Club. Rhonda, a seasoned campaigner, been in the sport a long time. Been heavily involved in ski racing also. So fabulous to see her back on the water this weekend. So Rhonda just coming out of the junction in. Bridge turn onto the Bannister Marine, back straight. Rhonda just rounding the polytherm pool, resurfacing and restorations. Bottom corner. Just send it, Kurt Rod. So both Kurt and Rhonda requesting a couple of hot laps on the water. They'll stay on the water for our first race, which will be limited to boats in the 85 mile per hour class. Test 1, 2. So we're just up here with Michael Quinlan of Quino's Quick Snaps, and I'm sure, Michael, you're going to let us know you got your usual stand up here today. Some wonderful pictures and frame photos. Any real specials this weekend?
Mate, yeah, really smashed out a few of the bigger shots this weekend. Catchment, a lot of the blow-on boats together, some of the 6-litre boats together. A few of the big boys that have travelled from Victoria and South Australia added some of them shots, and better get in quick because they're selling quick.
Okay, you've been a great supporter of the Vintage and Veterans Club, so there's a lot of stuff, not only from the Raymond Terrace Aquatic Club, but other clubs as well.
Yeah, that's correct. So I've got some stuff from the Vintage and Veteran guys. There's new updated photos from Windsor from 3 weeks ago. There's also photos from Dargle back in the King's birthday long weekend now. So yeah, there's a lot there. Come up and have a look and see what you can find.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Quinlan of Quino's Quick Snaps. Pop in and have a look. He's a beautiful white Brahman there, assisting this weekend as well. It's getting very, very hot indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Plenty of sunscreen, plus 30. Slip, slop, slap. We certainly want to see you here tomorrow. We don't want anyone becoming ill. Get those big hats on. Plenty of slip, slop, slap. Mick McIntosh, the driver of Timeout, just coming up to the official table. I think he might actually do a kill switch test maybe. This boat, of course, originated from the beautiful place called Bundaberg in Queensland. Scotty Trainer, former owner of this boat, and she's just a good old boat. Timeout. Mick McIntosh very, very happy with the purchase. Great to see a big crowd rolling in. A lot of young kids here at the venue of big Raymond Terrace Aquatic Club. Hello to Charlie and Lily, two of our young ladies at the venue this morning. We can just hear over the radio our 6 litres that are going to be competing for round 2 of the Trojan Series this weekend. They've just been given the hurry up to get themselves down to the ramp. Glenn Brown, the driver of Steptoe. Rhonda Wadakovich, the yellow boat Hot Lemon. Timeout, Mick McIntosh. Okay, so pole positions are as follow. Out of 1, Timeout, Mick McIntosh. Eliminator, Anthony Nibbs out of 2. Out of 3, Rhonda Wadakovich in Hot Lemon. Out of 4, Steptoe. That's Glenn Brown. And out of pole 5, Just Send It, Kurt Rod. 85 mile per hour race, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we call a speed bracket race. boats having GPS. They cannot go any faster than 85 mile per hour at any stage of the race. In this form of racing, no forced induction, meaning no supercharging or turbocharging. Boats restricted to 85 mile per hour or less. One guy that we see a hell of a lot of on the circuit, Anthony Nibbs, driver of Eliminator. The beautiful aqua blue boat. He supports just about every club in New South Wales, and he's known to travel interstate. So for anyone that hasn't been to a big weekend of racing like we've got here this weekend at Raymond Terrace, they're commonly called trophy days or spectaculars. And we generally don't have any what they call handicap racing. It's all pole boat starts. So our pole boat has taken our 5 contestants right up to the southern reaches of the Hunter River. They'll wait for the okay from our officials here. They'll just wait for the water conditions to settle. Our officials will then give the okay for our pole boat to come down onto the course. We can see them coming along, ladies and gentlemen. You'll see a white flag. The passenger in the pole boat, once that white flag drops, the race starts. The boat's coming onto the AW pools, front straight. We have a start, ladies and gentlemen. And we've got a really good start on the inside. From timeout, Mick McIntosh, Eliminator second. Hot Lemon right down the outside. The boat's heading through, junction in, onto the Bannister Marine back straight. And now Mick McIntosh. He's gone to an early lead. But Steptoe on the outside. He's moved into second from Anthony Nibbs. So the boats, our lead 3 boats just coming out of Polytherm. Pools and resurfacing. Onto the AW pools front straight. So Glenn Brown has moved up on the outside of our initial leader, Mick McIntosh. One of our boats has had a bit of a dipsy doodle there in junction in. Oh, look at this great battle for first and second. Nibbs has moved up on the inside of Steptoe. Anthony Nibbs driving Eliminator. Just taking the inside from Glenn Brown and Steptoe. Mick McIntosh being pushed back to third in timeout. Just send it forth. And Hot Lemon making a big charge on the outside. Yellow flag out. That's one to go. For Anthony Nibbs. But look at the charge here from Glenn Brown. He's moving up on the outside, coming into junction in. The third, fourth and fifth, what a battle we got there as well. So Nibbs has got a half a lap to go. Half a lap to go for Anthony Nibbs. But Glenn Brown in Steptoe making a big charge on the outside. Just coming out of Polytherm onto the AW Pearls front straight. Checkered flag time, ladies and gentlemen. Who's it going to be? But Glenn Brown, he takes the win from Anthony Nibbs in Eliminator. In third place going to Mick McIntosh, timeout. Next along, Glenn Brown in, beg your pardon, Kurt Rod in Just Send It, and Hot Lemon, Rhonda Wadakovich. So unofficially, and I say unofficially because we've got to check GPSs and the like to see that no boats did go over that 85 mile per hour mark. But unofficially, the win going to Glenn Brown in Steptoe. Anthony Nibbs in second, driving Eliminator. Mick McIntosh in third, driving the purple boat there. Timeout. Just Send It, Glenn Brown and Rhonda Wadakovich in Hot Lemon, coming home in fifth place. First of our 6 litre races this weekend. The beautiful white Impulse boat, normally driven by Brendan Mason. Brendan, if you're watching at home, I'm sure you are. Hope you're feeling a little bit better than you were early this morning. And of course, Michael Newton, your good mate Michael Newton, behind the wheel for today. We'll see how Brendan is tomorrow. The local boy, Steve Rarity, in Restus, a beautiful blue boat. Our second contestant on the water. Just been advised by officials that we got 2 open practice sessions for our 6 litres. So a little bit about the boats. Steve Rarity, the blue boat, Rastus. It's an Evercraft hull powered by a Ford Yates SVO. These boats, and we've just seen it from Steve Rarity. Driving in excess of 120 mile per hour. The next boat on the water, toughen up. Driven by young James Clark. Of course, Steve Rarity, proudly sponsored by Wes Cranes, Omen Race Engines, Brett's Maintenance and Welding. Great to see young James here, all the way from Adelaide, the Adelaide Speedboat Club. So James Clark, the hull is an Evercraft. It's powered by a 6-litre Dodge. And of course his great sponsors, Simons Clark Logistics. Of course, James, it wasn't too long ago that James was driving in our Formula Future classes for our juniors, a little J3, but look at the transformation. Now driving a 120 mile per hour rocket ship. In races over the weekend, these guys will be competing for points in round 2 of the Trojan Series in memory of the late, great Larry Martin. We should see another 3 boats coming out onto the course very shortly. We should see the Red Rooters boat of Mark Ebenreuter, another guy all the way from Adelaide. The Silver Bullet, of course, Mr. Chris Pugsley, driver of Shenanigans. And Melody 11, Brian Kilpatrick will be our third boat. Of course, Brian got the little 5 litre in the boat, despite competing in 6 litre racing. He went very, very well in round 1 at the Windsor Spectacular in September. So just repeating, our next 3 boats on the water will be Melody 11, Brian Kilpatrick. Of course, this boat only got the 5 litre engine in the boat. The Rooters boat, the red boat of Mark Ebenreuter, all the way from Adelaide, South Australia. And from Dargle, the Silver Bullet, Mr. Chris Pugsley, driver of Shenanigans. If we move back to our big meeting here in January, it's one of the few weekends Chris Pugsley and the Shenanigans crew suffered a couple of poor mechanical days. This boat normally very strong, very reliable. But it was probably a weekend Chris and the team from Shenanigans wish to forget. A lot of our drivers today, particularly those in capsules, will want to stay well and truly hydrated. In some of our bigger classes, it's mandatory to have the capsule, but they can get very, very hot indeed. Plus with a driver's race suit as well. Can make it very, very difficult. Should see boats on the water very, very shortly. Just a little bit about Chris. The hull is an Evercraft. It's powered by a 6 litre Dodge. Proudly sponsored by Dargle Turf and Soil, Liquim Oil, the Dargle Water Ski Grounds, and Tim's Bobcat Service. As we say with Powerboat Racing and the not only the event sponsors, but the sponsors that support our drivers. Get in and support them. We certainly couldn't get through the weekend here at the Raymond Terrace Aquatic Club without the kind support of our sponsors. Just a big thank you going out to Armour Composite Engineering, Adam Fairburn there. Ad's Towing, Adam Hartman. Argo Race Products, Phil Carl. AW Pills, Andrew Wamsley. Bannister Marine, Kane Bannister. Cranky Race Engines and Marine, our own Dave Freeman. The Junction Inn. That magnificent establishment to our right and on the corner. Adam's your man there. Hunter Concrete Pump Hire, Red McDonald. KJR haulage, Kurt Rod. We saw Kurt a little bit earlier in the boat, just sent it. Lawler built, Johnny Lawler. McGrath meets Ryan McIntosh. Now, speaking of Ryan, we'd love to have seen him here this weekend. But his company, McGrath meets, they've just picked up a couple of big orders with the meat, and unfortunately, Ryan couldn't get any staff for the weekend, so he would normally be here in his beautiful lock and load machine. But big thank you to you nonetheless, Ryan. Marine line boat upholstery, Rick and Dean Gerard there. Polythene pool resurfacing and restorations, Craig Power, thank you to Craig. N&J handrails, Jay Thornton. Kevin Price, Price Engines. We were at Kev's factory yesterday doing a little bit of work for our live streaming crew this weekend. They're located at Carter. Primary Plumbing Services, Braden Hall. Thank you to Braden. Ryan Hall Speed Centre. We were hoping to see Ryan this weekend. Unfortunately not. RA Auto Electrical. That's Riley and Amy Vanderpool. And Universal CNC Machining, Brendan Mason. Brendan, a big thank you to Brendan. Unfortunately, not able to drive Impulse today, feeling unwell this morning, and his good mate Michael Newton behind the wheel. So once again, a very big thank you to all our sponsors this weekend. Get in and support those companies, because the more we support them, the more they support our great sport. Next boat on the, beg your pardon, the next boat on the water is Mark Ebenreuter. Mark, as we said, all the way from Adelaide in South Australia. It's a Evercraft hull powered by a 5.2, beg your pardon, a 5.8 litre Dodge motor, proudly sponsored by Ebenreuter Diesel Service and Active Batteries. So there we go. We've had a big representation of South Australians here this weekend. The silver bullet himself, Chris Pugsley. So we're just giving these guys a short, sharp session on the water. lot of these guys and gals are absolute heroes. A lot of us haven't done, fortunately, 120 mile per hour on the road. They're doing it here on the water. The orange and black, Melody 11, Brian Kilpatrick. You'll see this is down on power compared to the other two boats on the course. But there's a reason for that. And the only a little 5 litre, but Brian wishing to contest the Trojan Series. So the Silver Bullet, the Tim and Stacey, Shannon owned boat. Tim and Stacey, I believe, coming from the ski racing background. Of course, Chris Pugsley commenced his career quite some time ago now at the old and now defunct Deepwater Motorboat Club. The other boat on the course, Brian Kilpatrick. The Kilpatricks have been involved in circuit boat racing for a long, long time. Just been advised by officials here at the Raymond Terrace Aquatic Club we're going to have some unlimited testing. So we're going to see some of our high horsepower boats on the course. going to see a mixture of supercharged and turbocharged boats on the course. So a big thank you going out to all our officials this weekend. We just hear the voice through the radios of the legendary Michael Page, our pit marshal this weekend. Pagey now retired, but if he didn't win it in a tunnel boat, it wasn't worth winning. So a very big thank you going out to all our officials, all our volunteers this weekend. We've got a bit of unlimited practice, and then we should have the first of our races shortly after that. Just a little bit with our sponsors here, of course, Armour Composite Engineering, Adam Fairburn, our man. Armour Composite Engineering provides composite engineering and manufacturing services, including advanced composite product development, prototype production, single part or system manufacturing, and advanced composite repairs. Mining, aerospace, and automotive sectors. So a very big thank you going out to Adam from memory. Adam provided quite a little sponsorship for the the Upper Hawkesbury Powerboat Club in September. So a very big thank you going out to Adam. Another Adam from Adds Towing. You name it, Adds Towing has probably moved it. Cars, machinery, side sheds, containers. The team can move them all to any location around the nation. Raymond Terrace local Adam Hartman started the business in 2003 and has grown the business to a fleet of over 10 trucks, both big and small. We thank Adam for his continued support. Argo Race Products, a big thank you going out to Phil Carl, local base Morpeth Company. Argo Race Products are back to support our 21st, 22nd October weekend event. At the helm of the company is Phil Carl, an experienced engineer leading a team of skilled and dedicated individuals. Whether you're racing, skiing or simply social boating, Argo has you covered. With over 30 years of engineering experience, Argo has the exemplary record of reliability and service. So thank you, Phil, and your company for once again supporting our great event here. Unlimited testing, ladies and gentlemen. Beg pardon. We got the single turbo Barracuda engine on. Tony Hearn, normally driven by Chris Hearn, his uncle, but today driven by Tony. And the other boat, the twin turbo, the boat named Odin, Ryan Constable. Turbos had that lag problem. These new ones don't have that problem whatsoever. Will probably be for me when the Constable Brothers conference. Barracuda motor, got the twin turbo in Odin, both got serious bumbo. See the team on Thursday doing some private testing. Whilst it's difficult to ascertain how fast the boats actually are with being by themselves on the water. On the Georgia River on Thursday, it certainly showed some supreme power. There's a lot of rewiring done after the George Spectacular in July. The salt water, I believe, so the Chris Hearn, regular driver, virtually totally rewired the boat. So have a go, Craig Stornett, running for CMS Plumbing, his own company. Relative newcomer to the sport, but a really hard-working member of the Upper Hawkesbury Powerboat Club Committee. Great to see a big good crowd rolling in, but we want to see plenty of hats out there. We want plenty of sunscreen. We want to see you back tomorrow. So just getting word from officials, we should have a full afternoon of just pure racing. Of course, the big races this weekend. The big trophy in memory of Ray Wamsley for Unlimited, and the high flyer for Greg Lewis in the 6 litres. Of course, Craig in June at the Dargle Spectacular there on the long weekend. Craig having a major mechanical issue on the Friday afternoon during practice, which put him out for the weekend. He didn't have a real successful Windsor Spectacular in September, and he wants to right the ship this weekend. Just coming out of Junction Inn onto the Bannister Marine back straight. Just while we've got a moment, ladies and gentlemen, we were speaking a little bit earlier, the blue boat, James Clark, tough enough. We're just talking about him not too long ago coming out of the Formula Future ranks. We've got a young fella here, he represents this club, the Raymond Terrace Aquatic Club. His dad, grandpa, both races, Dylan Wood. Welcome, mate. This year you finished 4th in the Australian Championship, 2nd in the New South Wales. How did you feel? So you messed up a few times, but it's all about learning, isn't it? Okay, we're going to be drowned out a little bit here, but we've got, speaking of James Clark, we've got his dad on the water, Dave Clark. But, you know, it's a pretty hot field in J2. Just let the crowd know about J2, you know, the engine size and the age restrictions.
J2 is from 10 years to 12, and you've got a 9.9 horsepower engine.
9.9. So when are you ready to go up into J3, the 15 horsepower?
J3 is from 12 years and up, but you need to have your junior New South Wales boat license.
So you want to follow in the footsteps of Dad and Grandpa? All right, mate, all the best and have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
Here we go, Dylan Wood. One of our fabulous formative future drivers. He finished 4th in the Aussie titles at St George earlier this year. He finished 2nd in the New South Wales, so it's looking up for Dylan Wood. I got my blue boats mixed up. It's not tough enough on the water. It's reckless. Of course, Tate Ramsey, the current Marge Watson champion of 2023. He won that in Adelaide a little bit earlier this year. He comes all the way from Geelong in Victoria. One of the most winningest drivers in the last 12 months is Tate Ramsey. Had a great battle early this year to take out the Ray Wamsley. Who will ever forget King of the River at Windsor in September, side by side with Jamie McCutcheon for 3 laps. It's coming out of Polytherm Pools and Restoration onto the AW Pool front straight. The next boat on the course, all the way from South Australia, Adelaide to be precise, running for Simons Clark Logistics. He was the former president of the Adelaide Speedboat Club, Mr. David Clark, father of James. The Clark family have got a rich history in the sport. And we got another Victorian from the eastern suburbs of Melbourne. Driver of Wild Child, Darren Robinson. This guy had boat will travel, travels regularly over into Tasmania for some of the big races in April each year. Locks up the boat and sends it over on the Spirit of Tassie. Great to see him, first time here at the Raymond Terrace Aquatic Club. He's hoping to be here in January. But I believe work commitment stopped that. He liked the look of the course. He mentioned to me early this morning. The Robinson machine seems a little off song at the moment. The toughen up boat of David Clark was a 21-foot Evercraft powered by a 572 cubic inch Chevrolet, sponsored by his own company, Simons Clark Logistics. Driver of Wild Child. It's a child's play hole, powered by a 510 cubic inch Chevrolet, proudly sponsored by Carlisle Engineering, his own company there in Melbourne. A big thank you to our drivers. Some have had very long travels to get here and support the club and supporting the Ray Wamsley Trophy along with the Greg Louis Lewis. So Odin has requested another couple of laps. Just to let everyone know, after Odin has finished a quick couple of laps,
So we'll be taking a short half-an-hour break. We've got part of our regulation in running today. You can see to our left, the paddle steamer there, William IV. That'll come back in and drop off patches, just take on new ones. So that'll be about a half-hour changeover. So there will be a short half-hour lunch break. We're going to utilise that to get our volunteers fed and watered.
guy and his business that is synonymous with the Raymond Terrace Aquatic Club is, of course, Mr. Kane Bannister. Kane, your wonderful firm, Bannister Marine, have been around about 40 years now?
Yeah, 46 years. So, yeah, still going.
Okay, where did Bannister Marine first start off?
So Mum and Dad kicked the business off in Cabramatta, so 46 years ago, in a shed in the backyard. And, yeah, from there they've just grown. So we had a larger shed, and then we've moved out of Moorebank in Sydney to the establishment we are here now. So.
Okay, so the business has just grown and grown?
Yeah, it keeps growing. We sort of, back in the day, we kind of moved up this way to sort of settle down a bit and get out of the rat race, so to speak. And the business has just kept going. So we've got a lot of contracts with Sydney Trains, so that's continued on, doing lots of fiberglass repairs for those guys, and then plus all the insurance work that's in our workshop.
Okay, Club Marine and NRMA are a preferred insurer with you. Any others?
Basically all the major insurers. So if you have an accident or you scratch your boat, or we get lots of jet ski repairs, sea repairs, where those guys crash into each other or run into their mates or whatnot. We get a lot of that sort of work. We do a lot of stuff for Malibu in Sydney. So a lot of their specialised gel coat repairs. So yeah.
Okay, your website, I'm having a good look earlier in the week that, you specialise in boat repairs, but there's also boat detailing.